Hi, this is Winston from the Rupee team. What I'm going to do today in this video is I'm going to explain you exactly how you can create a Rupee masternode on a VPS related to Windows, okay? And first of all, I will show you what you need in order to create this VPS connection to your wallet properly. So I have a file with the requirements, okay? What you will need is a Rupee wallet, indeed. Um, After you created your addresses, you will need to make a backup, okay? Make sure you make this backup directly after creating new addresses in your wallet, okay? Because if you don't, your funds will be at potential risk, okay? And we won't be able to help you if you don't have a backup from your wallet.dat file, okay? So make this backup as soon as possible. Besides of that, you will need 20k of rupee, okay, plus a coverage and the fees. So a recommended amount would be 20,100 plus. After that, you will need to create a Vaulter account and to create a Windows VPS. And last but not least, it is a very good option to create a text file with all your Masternode details in it in order to start your Masternode properly and without any difficulty. And also in the future, this is a very easy option to remember and keep track of all your details, okay? So let's start. We are first going to open our wallet. And after we have opened our wallet, make sure you have sufficient funds in it, okay? And as you see in this wallet are sufficient funds, 20,000 plus, so I will be able to create a masternode. The first thing you want to do is to create your addresses, okay? And we will do that by clicking help, clicking debug window, and go to the console, okay? In this console, we will enter the commands in order to create some addresses. Now, for every masternode you want to create, okay, you need to create one address, okay, and in addition to that, you will need to create one extra address for the rewards, okay. So if you want to create two masternodes, you will need three addresses. If you want to create one masternode, you will need two addresses, okay. I'm going to create one, so I will create two right now. And I will do this by typing this command, get account address, okay. After typing this, you will type spacebar, and I will start with 1, okay. So this is my first address that has just been created, okay. Now I will create one additional address, just with the next number. So instead of 1, I will use a 2. And what will the console do? It will create one additional extra address, okay? So after having created those addresses, we can close our debug window, and after closing it, we will need to go to the receive tab, okay? Well, and what we see here, we have created two addresses additional, okay? So the first of them I will name mn1, which refers to the first masternode alias, okay? And the second one I will call reward address, okay? So what we have done now, we have created two additional addresses, and now at this point comes a very important aspect, okay? We will need to back up our wallet, and how we can back up our wallet is just by going to backup, okay? Backup wallet, yes, click it and save your wallet.dat file on an external location, okay? Do this properly, make sure not to forget this. Backup wallet. You can click on it. After that, you can choose your location to save your wallet or that file. I would recommend you to save it at an external location, for example, a pen drive, okay, and store it at a safe place in order to keep your funds safe at all times. And now why you need to do this at this point, you just created 2 new public addresses with new private keys in it, okay? Now, if you make a backup, only the private keys of the addresses that are created at that moment are in it, okay? So, after creating new addresses, always make a new backup. Don't forget, okay? So, after having created a backup from your wallet with the new addresses in it, what we can do is we can do the transaction, okay, to our Masternode 1 address, okay, this address, yes, and how you will do it is you can copy this address, right click here, copy address, okay, you can go to send. In the pay to, you will enter your address, and the most easy way to do it is to paste it, okay, immediately, yes, and it will display the proper label, okay, and what we will do then is we will enter an amount of 20,000 rupee, yes, and we will click send, okay. Now we need to enter our passphrase in case our wallet is locked. Yes, in order to unlock it. After that you can press OK. Now we will need to press yes, okay, because it is going to add this amount of RUP with regard to the transaction fee. So press yes, okay, and now it is over the size limit, so what you will need to do is press yes one more time. And now what we see is it will do the transaction, okay. And if we go to transactions, we will see this transaction, okay. And what you will need to do now is you will need to wait for these confirmations to come in, okay. And before you can start your Masternode, you will need at least 15, okay. So, for example, the previous transaction I did has 168, okay. Now we need to wait for 15 at this one. So in the meantime, we will get to the other steps to do. So after doing our Masternode transaction, what we can do next is to save or to start saving our Masternode details. So I will create a new text file on my desktop, okay, a text document. I will name it Rup Masternode details. Yes, I will open the file and I will put some details in it which you will need to save in order to do a good installation. So first of all, the alias is a very good one. The public address is a good one. The normal address from your VPS that you are going to create, so the port and the IP address plus the port, and after that the private key, the TXID, transaction ID, also known as hash, okay, and last but not least, the index and reward address are very good ones, okay. So what we can already find are the reward address, the public address, and the TX transaction ID of our previous transaction, okay. So we are going to start with this one. I will go to my wallet, I will open my transaction I just did and copy this transaction ID, okay, and I will just stop right before the symbol, okay, copy and paste it in this text file, okay. Now after that we are going to copy the public address and the reward address right in this file. Okay, so go back to the wallet, go to the receiver addresses, and I will copy this masternode address, okay, to the public address. And yes, and I will go back to the wallet, and I will also copy my reward address. Why I do all this stuff, because it makes it very easy at the end to set up your masternode, and you will keep. Oh, I made a little mistake. I don't need to add it there, but here. Okay, so this is my reward address I just added. Yes. Okay. And why I do this? Because it makes it pretty easy at the end to add your masternode to your primary wallet. Okay, and to start it properly. Yes. So now I added all those addresses and the transaction ID. Now what we can already add is the index. Okay. So we will need to find it. So how you can find it is to take a look at this transaction ID. Yes, that you already have. Okay. And with the transaction ID, you can find your index, and I will show you how. Okay. So we will go to our wallet, we will click help, we will click on the debug window and go to the console. Okay, now we will type the command masternode outputs, yes, and we will press enter. Now you get a specific output. Okay, and this is the output you get. So the first one is the transaction ID, which is exactly the same as the transaction ID we already got. Okay, so we know that this is the transaction we are talking about. And what you see is the index we get is a 0. Okay, now the index can only be a 1 or a 0. So it needs to be one of them. But in order to check whether you have the correct one, you can do this. Okay, I would recommend you to check this at all time, because it won't start if you get the wrong index. Okay, so now we can see the index is 0, so we will just add a 0 in our detail files. Okay. So after we have added all those details, okay, we can go one step further, which is actually creating the Windows VPS. Okay, so I will go to Google Chrome and I will search for Volto, and in this situation I know there was also a discount. Okay, so I will search for the 25 also. I will go to this link. Okay, and I will just add my email address right here. I will add my password. Okay, and I will create an account. So right now I will show you how you can actually create the account. Okay, so I will type the email address I want to put my account on. Okay, I will type in, I will fill in a password. Okay, and I will click I confirm, create an account. Oh, wait, we need a stronger one. Okay, have a moment. Create the account. Okay, and what Filter will do is it will also send a confirmation. Okay, so right now we created this account. Yes, and what we will need to do next is we will need to link a payment method. Okay, I will just go through them quickly. Okay, I will just add one myself, and then I will be right back to you in a moment. Okay, so I just logged into my other account. I have already one running, as you see. Okay, but I'm going to create a new one. So how do we do this? Okay, so we will click in the server section. We will click on deploy new server. Okay, and we will just go through all these details. We can take one location that is available. I would recommend the one closest to you. Okay, the server type needs to be a 64-bit operation system. We will need to select Windows, the 2012 version. Okay, and you can go with the cheapest SSD at the moment. In the future, this can change, but you will see it with regard to the bandwidth, which will be way higher than this. Okay, so if your bandwidth goes beyond the limit, okay, just upgrade your package. Okay, and the additional features you can choose. Oh hell, we won't need any of them. Okay, we won't need the startup script. We will just need it. We will just need to give the name. So Rupee Masternode. Yes, that's a good name for this one, I guess. And what will we pay? Well, $26. Okay, a month. Yes. And we will click deploy now. Okay, now we will get a new server, a new Windows server, and Walter will start the installation of it. Okay, and we will just need to wait on it for a moment, and I will get back to you once we are finished. Okay, so welcome back. My server has been installed. As you can see, it is running now. It is called Rupee Masternode. Okay, well, this is our VPS we have just installed. Okay, so what we can do now is we can log in on it. Okay, and how can we log in on this? Well, you have two options. You can either use the console of Virtual itself. Okay. But if you are using Windows, I would recommend another option, which I'm going to use right now. And in order to log in on your VPS, what is important? Well, go to your VPS specifications, and what is important? Well, the IP address you will need, and your password you will need. Okay. So I will just start by copying the IP address. I will minimize Google. Okay. And I will click on remote desktop connection. Now, if you can't find this, okay, what you can do is go to the magnifying glass, type remote inhale, and click on the right option, okay? So I will just open this now. And after opening the remote desktop connection, what you can do is you can paste your IP address of your masternode right in here. Okay, so in this field you can connect to it. Okay, and then we will go and search for our password. We can just copy the password, paste it in here, and we can log in by clicking on OK. Well, we have a little problem. I will press another account. Okay, administrator, and I will paste the password again. Okay, so now we can actually log in. Yes, we will need to press yes in this one, and we are in the Masternode actually right now, as you can see, and we are going to start the setup of our hot wallet right now. Okay, so we are now on the VPS, on the Windows VPS. What we need to do first now is do some security changes, okay, which we can do in the server manager dashboard. Okay, we can go to local server. The first thing you will need to do is you will need to go to enhanced security configuration. Okay, and we will click on none, and we will put it off for administrators. Okay, otherwise we will get some problems with some additions in the firewall. Okay. Now what we will do is I will go to the Windows firewall right here. It is now public on. Okay, I will click on it, and in this window I will go to Advanced Settings, and I will go to the inbound rules. Yes, I will create a new rule, and I will press on port. Okay, I will press next. Yes, the specific port we are actually talking about is 8517. Okay, so I will type this. We will first do it for TCP. After that, we will also do it for UDP. Okay, now we will click next. Okay, next again, and we will give it a name. I will give it the name 8517 TCP. Okay, finish. Now we have created this rule. We will create one more rule like this, but then for the UDP. Okay, so new rule, port, and next 8517. Next, allow the connection. Okay, and then 8517 UDP. Did I do this correctly? Oh, I forgot to switch to UDP. You need to switch to UDP the second time. Okay, so UDP specific port 8517. Next, allow the connection. Next, 8517 UDP. Okay, so make sure you do this properly and you set up these rules as well for TCP and UDP. Okay, we need both UDP and TCP for part 8517. Once we have done this, okay, we are set with our firewall, and the next thing we will actually need to do is start with the setup of our manually created wallet within our Windows VPS, which I'm going to do next. In order to get the Rupee wallet, we are gonna go to the internet, okay? And we are gonna go to the Rupee Blockchain website, okay? And once we are on this website, we can scroll down, yes, to the wallet and exchanges part, and we can go to wallets, download here, and we will need to take the Windows option since we are on a Windows VPS. So we can click on this one. The download will start. We will be able to open the download. Okay. Now we will find the Rupee Qt file in it. Okay. We will just extract it by copying it to the desktop. Okay. And then it needed some time to load. Then after that, we will press OK, and we have extracted the file. Yes, and now we can do the manual setup. Okay, so first thing we will do is we will create a folder, a new one. We will name it mn1. Okay, now I'm just going to do it for one masternode, but if you want to create multiple ones, you can just do this step multiple times at this point. Okay, now in the mn1 folder, I'm going to create a folder named rpcall, and what we're going to do is we are actually going to create a location in which the files are stored, which is rpcall. Okay, so this will be the location to store your masternode or your hot wallet files. Yes, for the hot wallet that will be running on this VPS. So what we're gonna do now, I'm going to copy this Rupee Qt file. I will copy it and I will paste it in our mn1 folder. Okay, so we will paste it here. Now what we will need to do is right click on it, send to and desktop. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a shortcut for it on our desktop. And with the shortcut, we can actually get the job done. So after giving the shortcut a new name, we will click on it with the right, go to properties, and we will end up in the shortcut properties. Okay, so make sure you are in the shortcut tab. Yes, and we will actually open our Rupee location. Yes, I will put my ticker right behind the E, the last E of the target location. And what I will do next is I will type a space bar. I will type this symbol, which is this symbol, okay? And I will type datadir afterwards with an equal sign, okay? Which stands for the command to determine the data direction for our location to save the files of the shortcut that is running. Okay, now we will need this location. Yes, the Rupee call. Okay, so we can find it by clicking on Masternode 1, Rupee call, press with one click right here and copy this location. Paste the location right after the equal sign. Okay, and then we can go further, spacebar, the symbol again, and we can type listen is 1. Okay, now we have done this correctly. We can click OK, and we have a correct shortcut. Okay, and we can see if I start this now. Yes. Okay, it is protecting me. I will run it anyways. If it starts running, what we will see is that files are being put in the Rupee car folder, which is actually the check that we did this correctly. Okay, and we can now start doing the changes for the Masternode setup. Okay, so I will take the stuff we need, and I will come back to you. Okay, so I just searched for the rpcconfig sample. Okay, this can be found in the Masternode guide. And I will also make sure it gets put in the video description on YouTube. Okay, now what we need to do in this, well, the first thing we need to do is we need to change this user, so we can call it user password. Well, for now, we can just call it password. It doesn't really matter what those two are. Just take a password that is a little bit more difficult, okay? And yeah, well, you can always research for it. You won't really need it, but something needs to be there in order to start. Okay. Now after that, we will need the IP address of our server. Okay, which is right above. So I will type 95.179.132.252. Okay, I will need to copy this one to the next lines, and I will paste it there as well. Now at the masternode address location, we also need to add the port, which we can do with a double dot, okay, and type 8517 behind it. Yes. And now, last but not least, we need the masternode private key. So what I need to do is I will go to console, I will in the wallet, and I will type masternode gen key, which will create a key for me. Okay, so now I will copy this key and I will paste it in this sample file. I will just save this file now. Okay, and last thing we need to do, because now it is at the desktop, we need to put this information in the file from our wallet. Okay, so I will go back to the wallet and I will go to settings, open wallet configuration file. Well, and we need to take an app to open it with, which should be Notepad in this case. And now we can just paste this information. Okay, and now it is in the rupee.config file. Okay, and this is what should be in it. This is the correct format. Okay, we can just save it and you can close it again. Now after you've done that, it is the best to restart the wallet. Okay, so I will just close it and I will restart it again. If you like, you can also add it to the taskbar, okay, which you can do by clicking right on it and pin to taskbar. Okay, so if you close it, it will still stay here on the bottom. And now your hot wallet VPS is set to run and to start a masternode on your primary wallet. Okay, and I will continue in that wallet on my own PC right now. Okay, so I was a little fast. What we still need to do is we need to get our private key, yes, and to copy it and paste it in the Masternode details on our own PC. Okay, which we are going to do now. So just copy this one and minimize your VPS. So we are back on my own PC. First thing we are going to do is we are going to paste the private key in our Masternode details text file. Okay, so I'm gonna paste it right here. I've just copied it out of the VPS we just set up. Okay, this is still the same file as you see. Yes, we can also add our repay address and port right here. Okay, so that's what I will do now. And what needs to be in it is the IP address of your VPS plus the port. Okay, so I'm just gonna search for the port now. Yes, oh yeah, well, it is still in the VPS. Okay, so I will copy the IP. Okay, and I will paste it back here on my desktop. Okay, now to make sure that the specification of this is behind it for the port, so 8517 is the port. Okay, and now we can check whether we have everything in place. We have the reward address, we have the index, we have the transaction ID, and we also have the private key and the public address and the alias. So we are set to start the masternode. Okay, so we are gonna start our own desktop wallet. We are back in our own wallet, as you can see. And what the first thing we need to do is to go to Masternodes and click Create. Okay, and here we need to add all these details we just collected. Okay, so alias is mn1, address your IP plus the port. Okay, this is what we put in right here. Okay, so I will copy it and I will paste it. Next thing we need is the private key of our Masternode hot wallet. That's this one we have collected from the VPS. The transaction ID we also need. So this is basically just copying and pasting the information you have collected in order to make sure your Masternode can start. The index was 0 and the reward address we also have here, and that's this one. Okay, now after we have all this information, we need to put a reward in it, and the reward should be equal to 100 percent. So we put 100 in it here. Okay, now we can click OK. Yes. Now it is added to the wallet. Yes. And last thing we need to do is we need to unlock our wallet. Type in our password, untick the box, OK, go to Masternodes, update, and start all. And after this, the Masternode is successfully started. In case you would like to set up multiple masternodes or to do a transaction with your masternode running, I'm going to give you some details on how to do this transaction. Okay, so what you want to make sure is to go to settings and go to options, the display tab, okay, and make sure the display kind control feature is turned on. Okay, so tick this box. Okay, press OK here, and now coin control is turned on. Okay, so if you go to send, you will see the coin control features. Okay, and the input you give, basically, if you click on it, you get to this screen. Okay, and in the screen, you need to tick the address you would like to send coins from. Okay, so I'm going to send them from I'm going to send a change to another address. Okay, press OK, and now I still need to know this address, so I'm going to receive. I'm going to rename. Well, I'm just going to send them to the rewards address this time. I will change this name now to MN2, for example. Okay, imagine this becomes the MN2 address, and this becomes the reward. Well, what will we do? This becomes the reward address. Okay. Yes. So what are we going to do now? We are going to send coins to the MN2 address. Okay. Now I don't have 20k left, but I'm going to do a transaction of 400. Okay. So the input I give is from the reward address. Okay. We are going to pay to the MN2 address, so copy it. Yes. Paste it here, and well, normally you would do a transaction of 20,000. I don't have 20,000 right now, so I'm gonna do 400. In case this is a masternode address, a new one, you should always use 20,000. Okay. Well, then you can click send, enter your passphrase in case it is encrypted. Press yes, and yes, and the transaction is done right now, and you can see it here in the transaction tab. Okay, have a great day. This was my Masternode video. Okay, I hope I helped you guys with the setup, and this video should be able to make sure you can actually create a Masternode. Well, last but not least, I'm going to show you how you can check actually whether your masternode is running. Okay, so this is our masternode. Okay, you can enter your masternode 1 address. Yes, you can just copy it. You can Yes, you can search on the internet whether it is really running by going to rpcpassword, okay, .com/masternode. Yes, go to this link, enter, okay, and now you can search in this box, okay, for your masternode receive address, okay, and now you can see that this address has been running 18 hours, so I took some time before shooting the end of this video, okay, and now we know it is on because this got away from the 0, 0 time frame, okay. Well, this was basically how you can set up a masternode, how you can check, how to actually control whether it's running or not on the website, okay? And I hope I helped you guys with setting it up. Have a great day, have a great week, and good luck with setting it up.